Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Um, the second cheese show, and kind of wanted to kick things off. I guess kind of right away. I mean, we can let people pile in, but I wanted to kind of immediately talk about the idea of like shadow boxing or whatever terminology you want to use for like fighting either something that doesn't exist or isn't a big deal and you make it a bigger deal than it ever really should be. And one of the examples I want to use is kind of the Ripperverse Eric July drama. I think especially seeing Mr. Dick Masterson over here keep constantly going after Eric July. I think that this stuff has been going on for a while now. It's been heavily discussed whenever I was over on Giovanni's channel, aka the Watch Frogs, whenever I was a co-host over there. And eventually I kind of just got like sick of it because it's like, are we just gonna like keep poo-pooing on this guy that's attempting to do something, and instead of us like either accepting it or being critical of it, it's just like I understand on both sides of it to where it's like, yes, the people that are making the comics and the people that are promoting the comics, they're not the best people that should be doing that stuff, or they're not being that critical of the media. Because I have no problem being critical of like the comic book or the um and anything surrounding that media. But then on the same token, you then have like Dick Masterson over here that's just like almost at like war with Eric July over this. And at a certain point, you kind of just have to ask of like, okay, how far do we go with this? Because it one of the things that I pulled up right here to where it's like Eric July false DMCA'd Riley Store and several critics' Twitter accounts. Here he is pretending poorly not to know about it. And I mean, playing dumb on Eric's part isn't great. But then on the same token, it's we already know what to expect, and it is a very bizarre thing that's going on. I'm definitely not gonna deny that, but it's just one of those things that um I guess at this point it's like beating a dead horse. So, but I just that was one of the things I kind of wanted to start with and just point out kind of how like ridiculous this is because it just never stops. Like, this is 6 hours ago. And this stuff has been going on for a year plus, and I just like, especially if you do like a show on this, you can only you can only make it so fun and funny for so long because that's like, oh, every single time Eric goes live on anything, bunny rabbits and dust bunnies, because that's funny. Like, it just, I don't know. I don't claim to be like the king of comedy or whatever, but it's kind of just, you can just only go so far with the jokes. And it's just, I don't know. This is just one of the cases to where I have to like show it and just speak for me. Hopefully OBS didn't just die. Hopefully we're all good to go. Sorry about that. Okay, good. It's just, or was I? Sorry, I got a notification that OBS died, so I just want to make sure the stream is even still going. But it's just, it's one of those things to where it's like, okay, I understand that we will that we want to uphold standards and we want to do these things, but at the same token, we can't. I guess we can't be like fighting our own tails about this kind of stuff. So I might be getting a guest on soon, so I might be having to move some things around to accommodate a guest. I know might be getting some more people to hop in or whatever. Yeah, yeah. This gentleman, we've been trying to kind of do a show together for a little bit now, so might might make it work. Have some fun together. The the jank will go on, as I say. We'll see if he calls in. I might have to do some stuff to show him stuff. See if he has even an opinion on this culture war that's been going on, quote unquote. I guess I don't know. I've been listening to a little bit of Timple, and sometimes the stuff he uses, I'm like, I don't know how much of a straight face I can say that with. But it's just because like if I could search Dick Masterson's Twitter, just the word like Eric, I think it'd be kind of brutal how often it's mentioned. I don't like to use the word like rent free or obsessive, but at least from an outsider perspective, and I really liked his original show. To then see the downside of it, it kind of hurts. It hurts a little bit, I guess. I mean, maybe you can only keep it up for so long, but I don't know. I don't know. I also got some bookmarks we could potentially go over, but I don't want to. I don't want to stay focused on Dick for too long. I just, in terms of news and all that stuff, we don't have a lot of things going on. You know, we can see over here some of the trending stuff, and don't particularly want to talk about this topic. I looked into it for a brief minute, and I was like, oh yeah, that's not great. Hassan Piker, I think, is trending, but he's not trending for at least the reasons I think, because I looked and like barely anything around him is actually surrounding him. So yeah, I guess Hunter Biden, Starfield for whatever reason is trending. So but was hoping to see if our guests will join us. I guess shouldn't try and do this so last minute, but a welcome guest is welcome. So, because if we go to like I don't know, if we keep it at posts and we look around a little bit, then it's just like I don't know if I'm wrong about this or whatever. Like this guy, obviously, his opinion matters more than mine, or whatever it is. But oh, it's an animated series. Interesting. $2 million for an entire show. That seems kind of like a chunk. Should get through the door. And like, I don't know. You could even go with the whole like Eric didn't think that it would get this far, or he's in over his head about stuff. It's like, okay, I get that. And then like, how transparent is he being on his end about that? Because if he's not, then I could kind of see the frustration that comes out with it. But I don't, I don't know. It's just one of those things I've kind of stepped back from. But then I was kind of like scrolling around on Twitter, and then I looked and I was like, oh, he's still talking about this. That's so exciting, so amazing. So I just, I mean, maybe just drama bait is what we're in the that's what we want now. Where it's like, yeah, we can't just have everybody get along and everybody have fun and do fun things together, but it's like, oh, I'm bored. I'm gonna do this. Like, oh, great, great. Um, I got some bookmarks to share, so I'm gonna blind react this
Okay,
one.
I am the problem. I went on a date with this guy and he was like, "It's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place?" And I was like, "Sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you. Like, that's not happening." And he was like, "That's totally fine. Just come over." And I was like, "Cool." So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like, "Are you gay? Like, what?" And like, I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna sleep with him. But I just now I feel ugly. This is what. Okay, I am.
I mean, to finish her sentence, uh, thank you. I still cannot say your name right, but MTMT MTNT. That's a rough name. You picked that name. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop pointing that out. You picked that name just to be rough. To finish her sentence though, she's what this is everything that's wrong with what like today's society is. So it's like, yeah, we can't just have like wife material, and we can't have people that are just upholding good social standards and sexual purity and all that stuff. Instead, we have this to where it's like you agreed, oh, I presume, you agreed to be, yeah, exactly. I don't even get to finish my thought. Um, it's the whole like, oh, I'll be physically intimate with you on the first date, but I won't agree to anything further. But it's like, at least in my mind, it's like, why can't cuddling be like a fifth date or a 10th date kind of thing? Or it's like, oh no, that's too slow. That's too slow. It's like you want to cuddle with this guy, and then you tell him that you don't want to sleep with him before you even walk through his door, and then he respects your wishes, which you want, and then in your mind you've already deemed him as either unattractive or willing to wait or whatever your reason might be. You've already set that in your mind. And then you still are disappointed whenever that doesn't happen. It's like, what do you want? What do you want to happen? What is your ideal outcome? Because not only are you calling that guy gay, but then you also feel ugly. So it's like, okay, now you've just lowered not only your own self-worth, but now his. And it's like, what would you wanted him to do? Would you have made a TikTok about this date regardless?
I am the problem.
I mean, you know, you even agree right here in the very beginning, but this is...
Okay, I am
Wait, hold on, I went too far. Oh.
This is what...
Exactly. I this is the whole show, guys. This is all it is. We're just here to buckle up, not get thrown off the cringe bandwagon, and just keep on going. In other news, the United States has used undisclosed weapon tech on its citizens. There's no entry or exit wounds. Makes the victims feel like they're crazy. Of course, SMS never shows you this. Now,
your assessments here are correct. These are very covert weapons, aren't they? They don't leave behind bomb fragments, bullet holes, etc. They could absolutely be used by our adversaries and have very low levels of, very easy to deny that they were even there, that they were used. Is that correct?
That's correct. There's no entry or exit wound. How they're designed is to make the target feel like they're crazy, like they're imagining things, especially on the low duration, the low intensity, long duration hits.
You guys also said that these attacks are happening right here in this city. Is that correct?
I mean, there have been some that have gone public with respect to Washington, D.C.
I think it was Mr. Grozev said you spoke to a Russian agent who said that they believe that Americans are using these same weapons on them. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Might that have something to do with part of the CIA's motive to cover up the existence of this tech and these weapons?
That is a very logical possibility.
Whoa. I mean, we've, you know, there's the jokes about, like, the heart attack gun, or the, there was another weapon I remember seeing to where it just uses sound instead of, like tear gas or, like, high-pressure water to kind of keep people, like, sedated. So they then know that we can mess with, like, frequencies and all that stuff to either make potential targets dumber or crazy, or in a way, like, plant things or ideas in their head. I'm not surprised. And it's funny that oh, this is just a conspiracy theory. I don't know. Seems a little odd to me. This was 2 days ago, but it's pretty brutal. I'd say so. This one is from China in Focus.
China's hand deep in the U.S. biotech supply chain. A new survey finds almost 80% of American biotech companies contract with Chinese firms, and decoupling from them could be a long game. Some say switching partners could take up to 8 years. The world's largest biotech trade association, called BIO, conducted the survey. It sampled over 120 small biotech firms. This comes as a bill is advancing in Congress. It aims to block Beijing from using U.S. tax dollars to access biotech biometric data on Americans and from developing bioweapons that could target Americans. If passed, the bill would ban federal agencies from giving contracts, grants, and loans to Chinese biotech firms. Four companies are in the crosshairs: BGI Group, MGI Complete Genomics, and WuXi AppTec. The Chinese regime is looking to become the world leader in biotechnology by 2035. It's building the world's largest biodatabase and has been harvesting Americans' DNA data.
Whoa. I mean, they're like China #1 enemy. At least I thought, to where we don't want to buy things from China. We don't want to sell things to China. That's what I thought we were doing. And I thought that American companies would be like behind that, like 110%. Or so I thought. But I guess, I don't know, is that not considered like traitorous? That's what it sounds like, at least. Towards like, oh yeah, no, I'm at the detriment of my own country and fellow citizens and all that. We're just gonna sell it to another country. I don't know, it sounds kind of gross. A little slimy, one might say. That was a little, I guess, dumb in a different way. Like an evil kind of dumb might be the best way to put that, at least. So, oh, it was pretty brutal. I have one more story I could potentially go over. We can look into the campus protesters if we want in a little bit. But apparently a big old barge hit a bridge off of Galveston, causing a oil spill. And I saw some people posting about this, and I wanted to look into it a little bit. I thought at first it was a boat full of illegals, but that was not the case, which I thought would have been funny. But I'm pretty sure this is one of the more recent oil spills that have happened. It didn't look like it was a big barge, so hopefully not a lot of it was spilled. Still spilled, still gross, still yucky. Wish it wouldn't have happened. But I guess we can maybe watch a video on this.
So we're going to go to Galveston Judge Mark Henry on the phone with us to talk a little bit about what has happened there. Can you hear us, Judge Henry?
Fine.
So from what you know, what happened to this bridge?
Approximately 10 o'clock this morning, a barge under tow apparently broke loose and impacted the train or railway side of the bridge, but the railway and vehicular traffic bridge are connected. Two crew members of the ship either were thrown off or jumped off into the water. They were rescued without incident fairly quickly. At this time, all vehicular traffic has been ceased. I heard you say that power was lost. That's correct. They switched over to a secondary circuit around 10:45 and restored most of the power to Pelican Island.
So
at this point, we're still monitoring it. It was carrying vacuum oil gas. Its capacity is 30,000 gallons, but we don't know how much it was carrying. But there is a leak associated with it. As you can see from that picture, because of the weight of those concrete structures pushing down on the barge itself.
And we have Sky Eye 13 showing us live images of what is going on with this right now. You can get a much better idea of the amount of concrete that has fallen down onto the front of this barge. You mentioned a leak going on. Are we?
Yeah, this video is a little long, but I seriously thought this was a different kind of story, so I didn't realize it was an oil spill that happened. But I mean, it's Texas, but I don't want to assume false motive or whatever. So it just seems like at least that I don't know what it has been, but like boats and bridges and canals and all that stuff in the past couple of years has been just escalating. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just, I don't know what to blame or who to blame. Like, I don't even know if this barge can fit. That's pretty funny though. A seagull smashing. Yeah, I mean birds can see glass, so that's probably why that happened. But it's just it's one of those things at least that's been happening like more and more and more lately, and it's both. I mean, it's sad to watch, of course, because like now traffic is stopped. They had to divert power and all that, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like we're holding these people accountable. Like these two employees that jumped off the ship, like is that procedure? Did they do everything they could before stopping the ship? Are they going to be held accountable for the EPA regulations? I mean, obviously zombie bomb. Maybe you had a delectable looking nose. I don't know. I'm not a seagull. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you why. But let's see. Let's see if they got a number on how much oil was leaked. I'm not seeing any. But causeway, is that another name for the oil that spilled? Maybe it's named for something else. But anyway, this is just a long list of things that are going on with our waterways recently. Don't know why. Like I said, don't know why. But it's been going on more and more recently, and I don't like it. But let's see if there's anything news-wise so we can talk about. I mean, we can discuss the potential debate that Biden wants to do. So I think it'll be funny. I don't see it going a lot of other ways. I don't know if he's so confident in his re-election campaign that kind of like Trump can kind of say or do whatever and it's not going to matter. But I don't know. I don't know how much of it sometimes is like a tease versus a legit like challenge. So let's look at these protests. Yeah, I didn't see the news. Yeah, Biden had like a 13-second clip of him challenging Trump to a debate. Let's see if there's a way to search. You gotta be a little more specific.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays. Donald Trump lost.
I saw this clip thrown around, and people pointed out that there was five jump cuts during that entire thing, which I mean, they're clean. Obviously, Biden has a very very solid media team and all that, so you could barely even notice them. You do it between his little pauses or whatever, but it's one of those things to where that very end was a mock. I'm pretty sure to his court dates or whatever, but the rest of it was kind of just like the whole like can you lose a debate Like that's kind of up to like the voter to decide. But I feel like a lot of these debates are more like, what's the best way to put it? Almost like a show to put on. Because like if you were to watch like the Trump Biden debates, you're kind of already made up on the issues, and sometimes they're so brief anyways that like for them to answer questions or whatever, I feel like you're already gonna have an opinion on them without needing to like have your candidate then like, oh yeah, how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do that? Because I mean, I'm trying to remember going back that far for the debates and just thinking of just like, oh yeah, Trump had it in the bag or Biden had it in the bag. Like it was kind of like, yeah, these two old guys going up on stage and just making noise for 2.5 hours or whatever. So, we can talk about, the Palestinian. We can see if there's any more in the hunger strikes or whatever they're called. Let's see. Let's see if I can move this over. That worked. And there we go. So we talked about the hunger strikes last time. And this is hunger strike trades off with new participants after 9 days. That is not what a hunger strike is supposed to be. I mean, we already discussed a little bit of the ridiculousness of it last time, but for this, you're not supposed to trade off. It's either you win or you don't. I mean, 9 days is pretty impressive, but I bet those last couple days they weren't doing a whole lot. But it's either you ride it out or you don't. So it's either you eat or you keep on going. And yeah, it would suck to see these people pass away from such a silly thing, but I mean, I don't make the rules on these things. This is kind of their own battle that they want to fight, sitting in. Where's this at? Let's see. I think this is still Princeton. I guess I could just read the article, but they aren't being specific on which college it is right away. After a meeting with university president Christopher Elise Grubber on Monday, May 6th, a decision that members of the sit-in said was unproductive. The sit-in's bargaining team met with administrators on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. At the first meeting on Wednesday, administrators initially seemed willing to negotiate, members of the bargaining team said. The administration seems to be responding to the urgency of the hunger strike and also the encampment, said Jessica, a postdoctoral research associate on the bargaining team at Town Hall on Wednesday. Kind of wordy at the end there. The same day, one hunger striker was admitted to the hospital, according to information posted on PIAD social media accounts, according to the group's Instagram. Princeton Medical Center strongly encouraged the admitted hunger striker to resume drinking and eating immediately. The after visit summary noted that failure to eat and drink acquaintedly was detrimental to the hunger striker's health and could result in complications. I mean, yeah, that's how not eating works. But I mean, they're still going. They're cheating, I would say. But they're still going. I think their demands are still the same thing, and they're just hanging out, for better or worse. So, yeah, excuse the box on the bottom because I'm not turning off my ad blocker for this website. But let's see this one. The Gaza Solidarity encampment has begun to decamp. Signs have gone up around Cannon Green, stating the space is closed in preparation for university events. This marks day 20 of the sit-in. Wow. No comments or whatever to this, but that's interesting. They're pushing them out. I mean, if I was an administrator there or whatever, I'd probably get bored of this too. To where it's like, I mean, I've talked about this, I guess, plenty now at this point, to where I'm just pointing out the ridiculousness of it all. So, yeah, not a whole lot happening on the news front, I guess, besides the protest stuff. I think in terms of the man, these really want me to not use my ad blocker. Because there's a protest at UC Irvine. Seems kind of interesting. Okay, this one seems kind of funny. Let's see if I can throw this over. Did that work? No. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Seems like there was, for Duke University, dozens of the 7,000 graduates at Duke University left their seats to protest pro-Israel speaker and comedian Jerry Seinfeld during the commencement in Durham, North Carolina on Sunday. Some waved the red, green, black, and white Palestinian flag and chanted "Free Palestine" amid a mix of boos and cheers. Seinfeld, whose decade-long namesake show became one of the most popular. Oh, this is just talking about the Seinfeld show. But this stand-up comedian and actor has publicly supported Israel since it invaded Gaza to dismantle Hamas after the organization attacked the country and killed some 1,200 people in southern Israel on October 7th. The ensuing war has killed more than 35,000 Palestinians, according to Gaza's health ministry. What about get like Red Cross in there? More accurate number, maybe. Just a man of science. That's all I ask for is just an accurate data set. That's all. More encampments. I feel like in a way this is a bigger deal than the Summer of Love. I mean, we can look at the hot map to where I don't like these aren't colored. I think it's the size. Oh, there we go. I think obviously there's been more arrests with the other one, but these are definitely it's a population thing, obviously. It's kind of funny because there's a pretty decent chunk of the population that's over. There's a lot of like colleges. That's funny. Got a couple in Colorado. A couple in Utah. All right. Portland, not that many. Could do better. Polytech. There's quite a few. It's just one of those things where it's like, what do you expect us to do? Florida keeping it low. It's just ridiculous. That's all this is. Ridiculous. I guess I can keep showing. Showing other news stuff if we have anything. If not, I guess I can fire up a game, potentially. Maybe. That would be something of interest to you folks. Last time I played Hollow Knight, I got a like a copy strike warning. So it wasn't technically like a real copyright strike. I don't know if it was like a crediting thing, because I just kind of fired the game up and didn't say anything. So I'm trying to think of if there's any. I kind of thought about doing a Fallout stream. See how fun that could be. Because I think I could get like all the Fallout games. So I was thinking maybe do like Fallout 3. I don't know what the order of the games is. To where if it's like New Vegas, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. Or if I should just forget all those and just do New Vegas. But I don't know. I wouldn't know. Yeah, I might do a game. Talk about new stuff for a little bit. Our guest might be a no-show. Which is okay. Definitely try and schedule better next time. Because I have a library pretty much full of games. I don't know the proper order. Yeah. I kind of heard everything all over the place. So, not super, super worried. Because I even like, some fighting games. Those are fun too. So. Because I can even do something silly like Jurassic World Evolution. I like that game a lot, but it's not very, it's very like chill out and chat kind of game. Not so much, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just kind of perusing right now. See if there's anything that catches my eye. Because I got like a whole wish list of games too. Because I've thought about, you know, trying to play like Sekiro. I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential games I could play. You know, I play like The Witcher. I have like the newer Star Wars games. Don't mind playing those. I think those are kind of fun. Like a Devil May Cry 5. Like Risk of Rain. That's quite the image there. I'm allergic to cats, so I keep them away from me. It has thumbs. Can it like open doors? It could be like a Garfield Kart, Furious Racing. That game's on sale like all the time. I can try and play one of the Monster Hunter games, but I might suck at that even more than than Hollow Knight. I'm just trying to think of some games that I've seen recently. I got like a Isle of Pain. I think that one might, or Pan, excuse me. Armor Core 6. I could try that one. I already have it downloaded. Pacific Drive looked kind of interesting. Never played Pal World. You know what? I think we should try some Armor Core 6. We'll see how that goes. If I can even find it. Oh, it's A. I suck at this game, so I think that's all I was mentioned. Alright, let's mess with OBS real quick. Since we're doing something else. We'll go with game capture. Did that do it? I don't think that did it. Oh! They did do it, but it looks awful. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'll just center it a little. And we'll get me kinda a little further down. Alright. I can never get into the Zelda games. I think we'll just start where I was. Sure.
Some advice before you go, 621. Expect the unexpected.
Main system activating combat mode.
Commence mission. Investigate Baus Arsenal number 2. I've been checking the perimeter, and I'm picking up nothing. What happened here?
I didn't realize Chronic was alive right now. Yeah. It's okay, Raisin. I already, I get picking favorites. I get it. You know, you already missed, the meat and the potatoes of the show, so now we're just, gaming a little bit. Took a recommendation, but, might just rage quit on this one. TLER. I don't know what that means. I don't know, didn't you claim to be a, or not a MGTOWer? I thought that was, what's his face, this whole thing. It's just from a place of, like, good or bad advice. And, you know, not to throw a lot of shade his way, but I tend to find his advice to not be that great. So.
621. Watch its shots and see where they're coming from. Of course. MDD.
Yeah, of course.
You'll lose it if it gets too far.
Where's our little buddy at? For fire, what? Chakra? Oh. I don't believe in that crap. I think it's this one for rockets? No, it's not. This one? Nope. This one? Nope. That did something. Alright, that was not okay. I mean, I would say, I don't know. I just remember popping into his stream real quick, and they were talking about, I guess, whatever like connected universe they have, and like all the characters a part of the warband or whatever. And I just remember whenever they were talking about like space goth girls, the only thing that Chronic had on his mind is like, are they fuckable? I was like, dude, what? Why is that even like a thought in your mind in terms of like lore for fiction? Like, it's not from like a place of like being like funny or like original or whatever. It just comes from a place of like being kind of gross. At least that's how I perceived it. to where it wasn't just like a, oh, hey guys, like, let's preserve these values, or, oh, let's talk about this, or... Instead, it just came from a place of, like, oh, I just want to be gross about, like, fictional characters. It's like, why?
621. Continue the investigation.
Sorry. I saw his leg shaking. Doing the stanky leg over there. And just kind of after I saw that, I was like, yeah, I don't really value a lot that he has to say. I also personally thought that the whole, like, think before you sleep beef with him and Chronic, like, think before you sleep kind of came out smelling like a rose. I mean, he hyped up, like, this like 4-hour stream, like it was like 2 8-year-olds ready to duke it out on the playground. And I was like, oh yeah, I really, really want to see that go down. I started watching it. And instead it was like, oh, let's react to what these other people have to say about this beef instead of what I have to say about it. And I was like, oh yeah, real 200 IQ moves right there. Oh. That's kind of my whole thing.
621. I think there's more than one this time. Use your scanner.
You want to be specific about what that help is? Like, the whole like purity before marriage thing, I get it, but he doesn't even subscribe to that idea. Because it's like, oh, I don't value a woman before marriage. Like that's his whole message. He mentions it all the time. I'm talking about his public persona. That's my beef. Him and I don't talk. So look what he made me do. I just, like I was saying, my issues just come from the whole, like, contradicting yourself. To where it's like, oh yeah, let's uphold these social standards until it comes to me personally, and then it doesn't matter. But then I'll joke about it and I'll talk about it anyways. And it's like, kinda weird. Kinda weird. That's at least, again, that has been my perspective on it. What's with the eye rolls? Because, like, I try to always come from a place of, like, benefit of the doubt, or like, oh, do it for the bit, or whatever. You know, maybe he says some things out of boredom, or, you know, whatever. But at least from what I have seen, again, this is all from my perspective, I've seen it as, like, a negative influence, or these things that's like, it's just like, oh yeah, well, we'll complain about these things and then we'll just indulge in these ideas anyways. So that's my main issue, at least. And I just don't find it very entertaining. And obviously I cannot complain about things not being entertaining or whatever else, and then not also try and, like, make my own things and just try and experiment and be creative. So is that making sense, Mr. Raisin? I don't even know if you're here anymore. I'm trying to engage a little bit. That's all. I think might take a little intermittent break. Wow. I get the passive aggressive thumbs up. Come on, Mr. Raisin. Do better than that, baby girl. Take a little intermittent break. Might grab a snack. Maybe play a different game. I feel like Armored Core is a little overwhelming for my little lizard brain. I could do a platformer pretty easily, but that's that's all. That's all. I'm looking out for everybody's best interests. If you catch my drift. My drifteronies. It's cool. Okay, good. Is a kiss too much? Is that just right? Sorry about that little interruption. How's everybody kind of doing tonight? It just goes back to what I was talking about with Dick Masterson and all that stuff too, to where it's like beating a dead horse, I guess, to where it's like we can only talk about these things for so darn long before we kind of what's I talking about? Like, we can only talk about these issues so long before we start kind of beating a dead horse. So I kind of feel like complaining about certain things or bringing certain things up or whatever, it never, it only goes so far before it just either feels unproductive or boring, or if you do eventually make a good point, it just kind of gets lost. It's like, oh, I have a revelation. It's like, yeah, man, but we've been talking about this thing for ages now, and now you just want to bring it up again. You just want me to listen to it and just take it all seriously without, almost like I'm like my brain is always just like fully engaged, which I don't think I can do that. I do not think I can do that. This is my little 2 cents on the matter. Oh yeah, I was thinking about playing a different game because this game hurts my little brain. What's up, Raisin? Got something to say, bud? We're just chilling. That's all we're doing. Just chilling. I think I might try a puzzle game. I think that'll kind of be. We'll set the mood. Let's see if there's just like a genre. This is puzzle. There we go. There we go. There's a game called Animal Well. That'll seem interesting. Mm. Yeah, we'll do some roasting. Mm. Mm. I'm trying to think of just something chill to put on. Just saw furry feet. Awesome. That's cool. Hey, gross is okay in my book. I say gross things too. He's not a dung beetle. He's a heracross. Like a Pokemon. I don't think you know what a dung beetle is. He has like horns and all that, doesn't he? Let me double check this. Yeah, he's like a heracross, but he has like the W for warband. Do I ever go to the gym? No, I do not. Is that a problem? I do some workouts at home. I think, going to and from the gym, I think it's a good, I'm not going to bash that it's a good or bad habit or whatever, but I think my issue more is like fixation on it, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna lift a lot of these weights, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that. I could definitely do better, get more in shape or whatever, but I have a pretty laborious employment. How many push-ups? I don't know. I haven't checked. Not a lot. I don't have a lot of upper body strength. So, you trying to shape me up right now? Is that what's going on? I'll take on that challenge. I'm week 2. Well, I mean, I don't want to ever see it from a place of like weakness or not, because like I said, I think you could build good habits and it not be going to the gym, but like even going for like a walk or a run, and there's a lot of things that you can do. I mean, and it helps too that like the gym is inside, so there's never like an excuse for when you can and can't go. Because if it's like, oh, I do all my cardio outside, if it's really cold out, then obviously you don't want to be doing cardio whenever it's 20 degrees out, or maybe you do. I mean, it's a part of the training. I don't know. Sounds like some One Punch Man stuff right there, though. Too fat to run and walking hurts my feet. Yeah, I mean, you could do like low impact stuff, like bikes. I was trying to think of the other one, the elliptical. I think that's what it's called. The one with like the like paddles on your feet and then like the handles for your hands. So there's definitely things that you can do to at least get something going. But the road to self-improvement for some people is longer than others. I think the whole like getting trapped into it, not like an actual bike. There's one where you just sit on it and you don't even have to move. You don't even have to use your weight. You just have like resistance on like a bike that you like sit on. I'm talking like at the gym, like stuff that's there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess it's called a stationary bike. Excuse my ignorance. But all right, now you're just being self-deprecating. Because there's things that you can definitely do. I swear. I swear. I swear. I swear. So I just and then the floor. All right, guys, we got a comedian in chat right now. Mods, ban him. Ban this funny guy. This absolute jokester. The earth is hollow, so you'll just sit in a constant state of, like, floating. We got Queso in chat, guys. Queso in chat. That's pretty funny, huh? Yeah. I guess I should pick a game. Why do you do this? Why do you do this, man? I guess I just said it different. A different thingy. I just don't know what else to talk about, I guess. We're gonna game, but then I got a little hungry. It is not over. It's not over. Only with that attitude. Raisin, you want to call into the show? You have a chat? Hash out some beef? I don't know. I don't know, probably say no, but extending that anyways. I swear you said you were going to go live last night. If you want, I could put on a gross voice too. Would you want that? All right, now you definitely have to call in. Come on. Come on. Well, just know, Mr. Raisin, the invitation's always extended your way. I have no mouth, but I must speak. Isn't it also like a video game? Just trying to be nice. Just trying to extend a friendly little gesture. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do here. Because I thought about like for like 10 seconds. That's lame. Throw up in your mouth. There you go. That's a gross joke for you tonight. I'm feeling sick dealing with all your bullshit, boy. Just hop on the Discord. Already have the reactives and all that set up, so you should be good to go if you want, baby. StreamYards. What are we, boomers? Man, I want to play this video so bad. The urge. No, it didn't work. Hop in the call. Hop into general. Now I just feel like you're pulling a ruse. We got this. I got this. Oops. There's a call that says general. Join in that, and then I'll move you over. It should be like a click or a tap, and we'll be good to go. Technical difficulties, guys. Oh. Oh. All right, can you hear us?
Yeah.
So we are live on the Chiefs show right now. Sir, what is your opinion so far?
Of your show?
Of just life, everything.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
What do you want to call in and talk about?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm just having a kind of sleepy afternoon. I don't really have any subjects to talk about. What do you want to talk about? You're the host.
What's up with the left eye on your avatar?
The left eye?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really want to explain all
that. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough.
It does have, it all has all great meaning, all the colors and everything, but I explained it once a long time ago. Don't want to do it again.
Okay, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I was expecting you to sound like a Redditor or a goblin creature from the deep dark parts of the web, and I'm kind of disappointed.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry if I don't have much to say. I'm actually just I'm not feeling very good right now.
Hey, I get that.
Major headache.
Hey, I get that.
So, but what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? Do you have any opinion on the idea of like a culture war, quote unquote?
There's
Do you
always
think
culture wars.
Right, right. But do you have any like
Okay.
anything like in particular for this like current one that's kind of been happening? Do you feel like
I mean, like politically right versus left,
yeah, I guess.
something like that.
But in the more of
Okay.
like the pop culture sense, to where you have these people that are trying to make like their own new stuff.
Oh, you mean like movies and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the one that I
Um.
mentioned at the very beginning was like the Eric July stuff that was going on.
Okay.
So I didn't know if you
Um. I don't remember much about that, but I missed the beginning of your show. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
But in general, I have been seeing that. When the thing that bothers me the most is when um, people take like well-established ideas, they change just a few things about it, and they just keep replaying it, right? They just kind of run it into the ground, like the Star Wars thing. I
Right.
mean, yeah, it's like let it die, create something new.
Well,
Don't just keep repackaging the same thing. Eventually, no matter who does it, eventually it's gonna fail because it's not new. New things are what intrigues people. New things are what gets people to the theaters.
because like Dune has seen a lot of success, even though it's not a new IP, because they've done like movies and obviously the books and all that stuff.
But I mean, you're talking about the movie Dune, right? There
Yeah.
was only like one other adaptation, and that wasn't very good. So that's probably the reason.
Right. But like those
and
movies, I feel like
every-
have seen a lot of success in the box office, and it obviously they're not that similar to Star Wars, but it's similar enough that I think that it would kind of like
Yeah.
win fans over.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, we're not on like the 8th or 9th rendition of Dune, right? I mean, it hasn't been out for a while. There's one older movie and now this one, right? So it's still new to people. And it's not exactly the same as Star Wars. I mean, I've only read the first book, but it's definitely its own unique franchise, in my opinion.
Well, I was saying since Star Wars has been falling off, like other franchises have been able to like take advantage of that, and I feel like one of those might be like Dune. I think
Space opera kind of stuff, yeah.
what's is it called Rebel Moon? Is that the one that what's his face is doing? Zack Snyder.
I think I haven't been up to date on movies. I haven't been going to the theater for a long time.
Okay. I only pay attention whenever people like talk about it. I don't really. I go to the theater sometimes, but I think Rebel Moon was one of the ones that has come out recently, and people are taking an absolute dump on those. So,
wait, is it Star Wars?
it's like Star Wars-esque.
Okay.
So it's
one that I really sorry.
No, it's okay. What were you gonna say?
A franchise I want to see come back, but I really don't know who could actually pull it off correctly. But Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but the actual series, because there was a standalone movie where they kind of rushed through everything.
Right.
But, I'd like to see like the first 3 books actually turned into proper movies. Those were actually fairly enjoyable. I mean, like Restaurant at the End of the Galaxy. That's a hilarious book. I can see that making a good movie.
That's like a space comedy, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a lot of dry, very British humor.
Ew.
But a lot of sorry.
Oh, it's just you said British, so my immediate reaction was to say ew. That's all.
Yeah.
I remember watching
the
movie, and I thought that it was pretty alright. So
yeah, well, they kind of condense everything together, so it really needs like a 3-part series to properly do it justice. But I only read like the first 3 books. After that, get through the fourth one. Those are the really good ones. But yeah, it's kind of got that dry humor. It's also got a lot of. You ever watch Futurama?
Like bits and pieces.
Okay, where it's got a lot of references to stuff that a lot of people don't necessarily get, right? I mean, like a lot of references to other sides. Yeah, this does it with like physics and thought experiments and stuff like that, where it's always a reference, and it feels kind of special if you get what they're implying, but it could also go over your head. It's
like a high IQ Rick and Morty. Is that what you're?
Yes, but I don't like. You need a high IQ to watch Rick and Morty. That's so stupid.
That was a joke. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I've heard it a million times before.
Right. Because
Rick and Morty is so dumb.
Oh, yeah, that was exactly the joke. To where it's like, yeah, like a high IQ version of like Rick and Morty. To where it's we'll take these sci-fi concepts and then we'll just like, look, we're doing it now, and it's just that like over and over and over and over again. And it's
kind of like that.
Exactly, to where it's like, oh yeah, like, oh, Anatomy Park. Ooh, it's kind of fun, I guess, kind of, but I personally don't like the like set 22 minutes episodes, to where it's like, it's like, why can't we go like past that? Why do we have to stick to like this like time constraint?
Because it's half an hour with commercials.
Well, yeah, I know why. 8 minutes of commercials. That's gross.
They're just trying to squeeze all the attention out of people they can. So
exactly,
that's how it is. Like, many of these, you could probably pack an entire series into one long movie or something like that. But personally, I enjoyed Futurama. That was one of my favorite shows growing up.
Didn't they just redo another season?
I didn't know that.
I think so. I
thought they had stopped.
Well, they had like an ending, but I think they like retconned that ending again. I'm pretty sure. I can check that actually.
Yeah, well, I'll look into it. It's kind of I haven't watched it for a while. I really liked it growing up. It was kind of special. And my brother used to always try to catch the episodes when we could. But anyway.
I'm a pretty decent sci-fi nerd, and there's only so many hours in the day and all that to like watch that kind of stuff anyways. Because like one of my favorites of all time is Michael Crichton. I like all of his books, and I hate that almost all of his books have never been turned into great movies. So, because I think like Sphere and Jurassic Park are the only two that are like decent. But if you read the books and you watch the movies, you're like, holy cow, these are not the same books, or these are not the same movies, or whatever.
Yeah, they were. Steven Spielberg went in his own direction with that. So, but I mean, it's still I still consider Jurassic Park 1 to be a phenomenal movie. But I've never read the book. I don't know. Maybe it's better.
If you are a book kind of guy, I definitely recommend both of them, The Lost World and Jurassic Park. They're both phenomenal books. There's not a lot about those that I don't like. Like reading them, they feel pretty like solid, like through and through. And then you watch the movie, especially the first one, and you're like, wow, this could have been like almost an entirely different like idea. Because like one of the things that I really didn't like, especially in the second book / movie, is Steven Spielberg and Michael Crichton. The only similarities really is the fact that they both go to a different island. Everything else about those movies, the movie and the book, are so different that it's like holy moly! Like what were you guys thinking? So
yeah, I still like the movies. I don't like Steven Spielberg, but I like some of his early movies that he made.
Yeah, like if you watch like E.T., it definitely feels like if a child molester was an alien, and it's kind of It's kind of rough.
Yeah, there's actually that was back when I first did a YouTube channel. I tried to kind of dissect every one of his. I took it down, but
Right.
every single one of his movies has some oddity in it that doesn't make sense, and I don't trust the guy. I think that he might be a very bad person. So, but he made good movies, So I just don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Right, exactly. I mean, then that's kind of it too, to where
E.T.
it's
was-
like, oh, directors are like weird about things, and there's more going on. Like, oh, it's such a big surprise. Like, you have all like the Nickelodeon stuff that's come out recently, and it's like, yeah, once you get kind of like a lot of money and a lot of weirdos kind of happening, it's like, oh yeah, there might be some bad eggs in here. So
growing up, I didn't ever think twice about the stuff I saw on Nickelodeon, but as an adult going back and seeing it, it's like this is just uncomfortable to watch a lot of the stuff. It very and I don't know. I mean, maybe it just seems weird that people can't tell when things are happening. They can never tell. It's always retrospect, right? It's always like afterwards. Right. It's like, wow, how did they even air on television? And at the time, it's like it just goes right over your head. Maybe people just weren't paying that close of attention. Like parents might have not actually been like sitting down and watching Nickelodeon with their kids. Just like, oh yeah, let the TV be the babysitter, right?
Well, so and they were worried about a lot of other things, especially during like the 90s.
Yeah, so they don't pay that close of attention. But yeah, I saw someone put together a bunch of stuff from Nickelodeon that it just seemed messed up. Like I can't even believe it aired. So
right, exactly. Yeah, no,
I'm happening all the time.
I was a Cartoon Network kind of kid, and one of the things that and maybe I need to dig a little more, but I can't find the Mad TV animated series. I can't find that anywhere.
Okay.
Like they would do like parody of like Avatar, and they would do parodies of like a lot of other like movies and TV shows. Like one of my favorite ones was Greg in Anime instead of Grey's Anatomy. Okay. And for some reason, I can't find it on any streaming service, and I might be able to find it like on YouTube or whatever. But it's just one of those things that's like lost to time, and like that TV show and all that is really gross. I'm not going to deny that, but it's one of those things where it's like I grew up on that. I want to be able to like watch that again.
Yeah. What was the series called? There was also I'm sorry, I can't remember any of the series names. What was the Robot Chicken as well? That one. Well,
yeah, Robot Chicken.
Not really made. Some of the episodes I can't actually find. I think they took them down or something.
Because they're all on. A lot of it should be on like HBO Max or whatever that streaming service is called now.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know how gross a lot of those were. I remember as a little kid going on like waking up in the middle of the night or whatever and putting on the TV and then seeing a Robot Chicken episode and then being like traumatized. That happened numerous times.
Yeah, they are kind
of I was like, Buzz Lightyear's doing what now?
Yeah, they're kind of gross.
Exactly.
But at the time it felt. I remember waking up and doing the same thing, and it was kind of exciting too because it's like, oh, this is grown up stuff or something,
right, exactly.
A lot of the jokes that went over my head.
Yeah, at the time it was just so like in your face raunchy that I kind of just had to like change it to like anything else but that. So I'm sure now I'd either find it funny or just like, oh, that wasn't a big deal. But
yeah, I'm pretty desensitized to everything.
Exactly. I was about to say, I was like, yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of stuff just being on the internet now.
Yeah, like when I was a kid and I watched, do you remember the Indiana Jones series?
Like the movies?
The 3 movies.
Yeah.
Movies. Part 2, what's it called? With the, what's part 2 called?
Yeah, the Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom, yeah. I remember that scene where he like reaches in and grabs the heart out and stuff.
Right.
You know, as a little kid who was forbidden to even watch anything PG-13, because my parents didn't quite understand that old PG was worse than PG-13.
Oh yeah,
They let me
exactly.
see this. Yeah, I begged them, and they're like, "Well, it is PG." Okay, and I go watch this. I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. I mean, it's so weird looking back at how innocent I was, but I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack just watching that. You know, I mean, what
And
was
now you
the?
watch it now, and
I
you're
can't
like,
remember.
oh, that looks fake.
Oh yeah. It's like, is that? It's a rubber heart or something. Yeah, it's complete nonsense. But
Because if you watch the
I,
thing, if you watch the thing,
uh,
that movie still holds up.
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you watch that and it's like that was gross. That was still gross.
A lot of John Carter movies are still good by today's standards.
Yeah, he stretched that budget out.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even like most of the snow was fake. It was like really hot on set. Do you know that?
I didn't know that. It would look pretty convincing.
Yeah. There were many times where they were out in the snow and they're like, you can actually see them sweat a little because I can't remember where it was actually filmed, but they didn't film in the Arctic, right? So
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, because I think they took some aerial pictures out there, but no, it was just like a hot day and a bunch of fluff on the ground. So yeah, but yeah, that movie's kind of good. I guess the if you want ambience in a horror movie, you really have to kind of people are afraid of. I know this might seem strange. They're afraid of things they don't understand, and they're afraid of germs. I just
Right.
in general, if something has to be mysterious and icky, like it can transfer to you in some way. You combine those two things, and you don't need as many jump scares. Just in general, and that's what I noticed with the thing. I mean, it did have some jump scares,
Right.
but throughout the entire movie, I felt like a little bit on edge. Some of it was the music, some of it was the cinematography, how they held the camera. But it definitely felt different. A lot of movies these days, it's like just jump scare and nothing else. It's just, whoa, monster versus like feeling like you're actually in danger throughout the entire thing. And that's what I felt when I first watched the thing. So I'm not exactly certain how he did that, but it was done very well.
Good writing. That'll definitely.
Yeah, I'd like to see.
Because I was gonna say a lot of even if you go like the anime route or whatever, like a lot of the ones that are like really well written stick out. It's like everybody knows about like Dragon Ball Z or whatever, but if you compare like Attack on Titan to Dragon Ball Z, they're like two different shows entirely, right? And one of the big differences between the two is the writing. I don't know if you watch the show, and I don't want to get like super heavy into spoilers. Okay.
I think I saw one of the first episodes. It's the one with the giants, right?
Yeah. One of the things that you'll kind of immediately notice is like the world building is like phenomenal. And another thing on top of it as well, like the character motivations. It's like, oh yeah, no, like I get why this person's doing this thing. And I feel like a lot of just shows and media in general today is like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing hero thing. It's like, why can't you have like a reason?
I mean, if you want to engage an audience, what you got to do is try to make them feel like somehow the character relates to them. So some small gesture or interaction that seems more normal to life, and then you slowly introduce a phenomenal and impossible over-the-top world. So they feel like they're being introduced to it. If you just go crazy off the bat, like just absurdity, they're not going to connect with the character. So you're absolutely right. The world there's a certain speed you have to go at it. Otherwise, they don't feel like they are the character. They don't feel like they're stepping into this world. They don't get that escapism. What was the movie called? You ever watch? I think it was called Firefly.
That's a TV show, right?
Yeah.
No, I never really got into it. I know one of the big or one of the main actors behind it. I've seen some stuff that he's in, but I've never watched the whole series. Why do you bring that up?
It's been a long time since I watched it, but I just remember having that same feeling when watching it. Like they did a good job getting you to really connect with the characters. That's all I mean.
Oh, I see. I
don't remember enough about it other than that. Just remembering, it felt like you could really like the characters were actual people, not just drones. And that's kind of hard to do, especially as you introduce more characters, so that they're not mundane and boring. Like with the more recent Star Wars movie, I don't remember anything about it. Like nothing was memorable. I'm sure the special effects were great, but I don't really remember any of it, right? Because I don't remember the characters. I mean, I remember the name Rey. I think that was the main character, but it didn't really stick out as they didn't build on these individuals and these personalities, and that takes a lot of finesse to do properly. So I'll look into that Attack on Titan movie. Everyone keeps telling me it's great, and I just haven't got around to watching.
Are you kind of like big into like TV shows and all that, or
what?
Like TV shows? Do you like those? Like, do you prefer that format?
I haven't actually been watching live television. I got rid of my Netflix because they didn't support some of the stuff.
Of course,
putting out.
Of course.
I mean, I don't know. I could probably order it or something.
If you're big into like physical media, I think you can technically order almost all of the Blu-rays if you wanted to go that route.
Yeah.
And if you didn't, there's plenty of websites and stuff that you can definitely like watch it off of. I know that some people are on the bandwagon of like no streaming services, so I get it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be better about owning my media, so.
No, it's well, I have Steam, so I mean, I would lose everything if the internet goes out.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, talking about Steam, I'm thinking that there's a new Steam sale coming up. I'll have to look into that. I always try to buy on the sales because I don't want to actually pay full price for games. Plus, generally when they go on sale, that's closer to a fair price. They actually jack them up to really high price, and they're like, oh, it's 90% off. Now it's only $20 or something. It's like, okay,
well,
let's get it somewhere else.
I also tend to wait on the sales as well. But if I really like the game, then I'll buy it like at launch. But at least very rarely, especially recently, have I been into like, oh, I want to play this game like immediately, like the day it comes out.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna do was get the I wanted to get all of the Dark Souls games together, right?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that they'll drop down to like $10 a piece or something. Then I can do it pretty easily. But yeah, I just want to compete with Chaz at Dark Souls.
I thought about getting into those games, but it just seems so tedious and a pain in the butt. Because I'm a casual gamer. I don't game that much. I've especially slowed down recently. So for me to like get into those, I'm like, that's a uphill battle. So
yeah, well, that I found them fun when I played them. So
I've heard nothing but good things about them.
I'm not very talkative right now. I apologize. I'm just kind of worn out at the end of my day.
Hey, no, I appreciate you for hopping on, man. Like I'm not gonna hold you hostage here. If you gotta go, you gotta go. If you wanna hang out, I'm gonna let me see actually how long the show's been going on for. Almost 2 hours. So we're almost at the 2 hour mark. So if you wanna say your goodbyes, got anything to plug, this is in its infancy right now. So we're going up and up and up. So the stage is yours, my friend.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me on. Maybe I'll come on later, but I'm just a little bit tired tonight, so I'm gonna get out of here. Okay.
All right, man. You have a good night. Yeah. Toodaloo. Well, that was our first guest of the show. Give it a round of applause for Not a Raisin For no reason. Excuse me. Solid guy. Wouldn't mind having him on more often. I'm trying to think. I don't know if we have anything else to really talk about. I love nerding out about like media and movies and all that anyways. I might try and find somebody to like debate with or disagree with. That's kind of my wheelhouse. I hate monologuing. I only do it out of necessity, especially for the show. I prefer the back and the forth, the disagreements, the agreements, the discussion, the meat and the taters. But you know, if you guys want to hop in the Discord, I'll throw that link into the chat real quick. My brain ain't braining right now. Well, there we are. Just threw that link in there if anybody else wants to join in the server, or just flying by the seat of our pants. Seed? I don't know. We're just hanging out. We're just doing things. Just making noise, filling space. But like I was saying, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. Maybe hop off. Maybe play a game later tonight. I don't know. Maybe I'll just work on stuff. Just trying to think, I guess. Again, Raisin, thank you so much for hopping on the show. You solid contribution to the program, my good sir. My fedora tips to you, man. But yeah, I get it. It's allergy season over here, so a little stuffy. Thank you, Zombie. Appreciate that. Yeah. Thoughts and prayers for Mr. Raisin. Trying to think if there's anything else to really hash out. I don't think there's any news things going on. Because it's like, oh yeah, I'm really into sports. Oh, he's so sick, he's throwing fart emojis around now. All right. Relax, bud. We're just hanging out. I'll try to have more stuff. That's the idea. Just more and more stuff for you guys to fully enjoy the show. I don't know how much of it I can fill with like pure just showing you guys stuff, but I'll definitely try. I'll definitely try and get you guys a lot more stuff. I don't think a lot of stuff is going on right now. So everybody's kind of bored. Obviously, YouTube has a anti-bullying and harassment policy, so can't be just starting beef with everybody, throwing insults and throwing hands and all that. So, can we get meows in chat? Meow. That Biden video was gold, pure gold. There you go. 200. Whose brother? Joe Biden's brother? I don't know. Following along. Yeah, the rest of the chat is just constant looping of meowing. I was trying to not get copy stricken by the sports ball. Actually, I think that was a bad idea. Let's stop. Let's see if Tim Pool has anything for us. I agree. Cats are very bizarre. Maybe that's what we'll look at next time. We'll look at cat videos. That'll be fun. Look at them fresh cuts on them boys. Isn't a walnut already tiny? Isn't that kind of redundant? Just saying. Just saying. I think on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll be wrapping up the show. I know we're kind of a little slow, a little relaxed, but we'll definitely just keep this train going. Definitely, I'll create a channel in the Discord if you guys have show recommend. Thank you for the comedic relief, AC. Glad to see that you popped up at the very, very end of the show. Maybe we'll just do another 2 hours just because AC popped in. Good old air conditioning. Yeah. Yeah, why do you think it's called the Cheese Show? How do you think it got there? But anything worthwhile to chat about, Mr. AC? Mr. Air Conditioning? Haha, so funny. It's so funny. At about the 2 hour mark, ladies and gents. So, besides that, haha, funny. Start my nighttime routine. There you go. Yeah, well, maybe we'll keep this show as your nightly routine. It'd be kind of fun. Yeah, yeah. The show is nothing but a lesson. So, lesson for myself. Is you are, gentlemen. Sounds like you're planning on streaming nightly. The what? The what? Yeah, exactly. The comedic pause. I mean, yeah, I don't mind a rant. It's just there's only so many things I can complain about, like monologuing. Like monologuing and complaining. Rather rip my teeth out. Or my fingernails. Like I need like a person I can like engage with. So that's why I really appreciate when Mr. Raisin popped in. It was good. Good to just chat. Have a little bit of back and forth. A bit of like tennis. One might say a little bit of hoot and a hoot. But it's like a social energy. It might be the best way to describe it. Have you covered about Lima? What? What is that? Like a link or something? The town in Massachusetts? What are you talking about? AC, stop talking in cryptic, man. Just get to the chase, man. Unless you're just messing with me, because I looked up Lima on Google, and I didn't get anything. Unless it's a D's Nuts joke. Yep. Well, I thought you were being serious, so I took you serious. Okay. If I have to going forward, if you're just setting me up for D's Nuts jokes, because I was like Lima, and then I was like, oh, Lima balls in your mouth. Oh, then I would do that. Then I was like, oh, Mr. AC came in, and I was like, oh, hey, do you have anything to talk about? And then he's like, oh, have you heard about Lima? What the fuck did you just write? Can you read? Damn, what's that last word? Backwards. Yeah, I figured it out. The last little bit. Yeah, that was cute. It was very cute. All right, now we're being cute. All right. Yeah, well, not him. I saw somebody else do that. I don't really care about. Yeah. Raisin is pretty cute. Everybody's cute, all right? Everybody's cute. Everybody's an 11 in my book. Okay? Everybody pat yourselves on the back. Give yourselves a round of applause. Kiss yourself on the face. But the news about that wife passing away, I just like international news, I kind of go back and forth on it, to where it's like, oh yeah, I'll talk about it because it's interesting. But I more talk about things that affect like the United States. So if it's like international news and if it like somehow affects us over here, then I'll discuss it. But if it doesn't really affect us, then I don't tend to discuss it. Does that make sense? Did that make the senses? Yeah. But I appreciate you guys for stopping in. I'll do my best to try and schedule these out like as far as possible, just so that you guys can get notified and all that. But try to do one cheese segment, like cheese news. I could do that. That's how I started the last show. Because obviously it's the cheese show, but it's more out of like an egotistical, like, since that's my alias. Yeah, exactly. Man, the cheese news. No springing on us without telling us when. No, I can't do that. It's Wednesday night. That's the schedule right now. I'm trying to keep it consistent, not only for your guys' sake, but then also my sake. That way I can kind of like work on things, build things, and then I just know that like I owe a show to my audience on Wednesday night. So, any critiques? Anything to do better going forward? Or is it just perfect? Can't be any better. I can try and make an overlay of just whenever I'm chatting with somebody. That's about like the only thing that I can like think of right now. But I just wasn't expecting a guest, I guess. Kind of was? I don't know. The jank will go on. Do I like pineapple on pizza? I as a joke, I hate on it, but since I don't eat pork, ham and pineapple usually go like hand in hand on pizza, so I tend not to eat it. But it it being like a fruit on pizza, it's kind of like gross. But it's like, well, tomato's a fruit, and that's on pizza, and that's not a big deal. Um, I think if I did cheese pizza on mushroom, nope. I was just reading a comment as I was trying to talk. If I did a cheese pizza with pineapple on it, I think I'd be fine with it, and also mushrooms. I had mushroom pizza just the other night, and it was good. What do I really? I think anchovies. Anchovies I don't like, and raisin. That is a no to your question. It's complicated. I have a pork intolerance, so. But the things of how that came out probably be for another time. But I think anchovies I don't like on pizza. Yeah, well, hopefully I never get doxxed. But yeah, sure. I'll just pick the anchovies off the pizza. I'll appreciate the gift. So, but I tend to yeah, I just flat out just like pizza dough, just thrown into an oven and then just eaten. I mean, that's one way of doing it. Oh. All right, AC, you've had enough talking for today. You come in like 15 minutes ago and you've done nothing but just cause problems. You've grossed me out. You've ruined the idea of pizza forever and ever. Like grapes and pizza. Yeah, I'm just disgusted. Don't even cook it. How's it bread then? It's not bread, it's just you're hurting my brain. I don't think it's that bad actually. It's like rice, I think. I'm trying to think now. Like, what is this wheat? It just seems like crunchy rice. Excuse my ignorance, of course, but from what I remember. Yeah, it only melts. You never. Yeah. You can never truly cook cheese. Yeah, fresh from the field. You just pick it off like a wild animal. Just all fours, and then you just use your mouth. I'd pay to see that. A little extra if you make some noises with it too. I'm trying to think of what else could possibly be discussed on this wonderful Wednesday night. I don't think there's anything newsworthy, really. Oh, a little update on that debate. Apparently Trump might have agreed to one in June and September, so that'll be cute. We're keeping it real over here, folks. We're keeping it right on, finger on the pulse. Yeah, cancel me. This is so dumb. Why can't I just go onto any news site and just use my ad blocker and just do my thing? But no. You gotta disable it. Like, why? Yeah, sue me, AC. Alright? Cancel me. But, since we started the show, ladies and folks, make your own news. There you go. A part of me has really thought about going out and like journaling, but that sounds like kind of like a dangerous thing, and on top of it, like how far could I like go with it? I kind of want to. Yeah, that kind of sounds interesting. Yeah, that's a lot of work, AC. It's a lot of work. Because I might just disable the ads, just like preload them. That way I can just kind of go through them and not have to worry about anything. Because all this comes from a place of like what I want on like, or what I would want on, or you guys are distracting me. Like, it all comes from a place of what I would like from a show. So ideally, I don't want like disruptions, or I don't want distractions. Funny enough, I'm talking about it. Like the redhead from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You talk about fuck, what's her name? April O'Neil. There we go. There we go. April O'Neil. I do not know her. They made her black. Yeah, exactly. I'm just reading newspapers. That'd be fun. That could be fun. Like I've even thought about like streaming me building like my Gundams, or like just like building like dumb little stuff or like models or whatever, just hanging out. So I personally do not like redheads that much, but that's just my own thing. I tend to, at least the ones that I've found, tend to be like super pale, and then they have like the red hair, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just a weird combo of the two. So it just like disturbs me slightly. But I'm just particular. So yeah, I know. Fall of the Western society. Sorry. Yeah, I know, AC. I'm paranoid about that kind of stuff. It's like, what if my camera falls over and it like comically lands like right on my face? It's like, eventually, anyways, I wouldn't mind my face being attached to this channel. Like being anonymous will only take me so far. So like I'll eventually kind of have to like be the like the face of the channel, and obviously be my face, because like anonymous YouTubers and all that they don't get that far. So the likeness, the like face to face and all that, it's the whole like celebrity ship. So yeah, I'm not wearing a mask while I'm streaming. I'll be dying. I didn't wear masks for another reason. So I'm definitely not doing it for streaming. So that is open to interpretation. But yeah, I could do some funny bits or whatever, but I don't know. I don't think I could do a whole stream like that. That'd be just awful. Awful. Oh, that'd be funny. That'd be cute. That'd be cute. That'd be cute. Yes, Raisin. Yes. I've had no reason to fall into that. So, but you know, we try to keep it 100. Try and keep it real. I just I don't like discussing. I don't. It's the whole like, you know, maybe if I stream on like Rumble or Kick or whatever, I can like rant or talk about it more. But it's just, I don't know. This is always one of the things I could just never like subscribe to or like agree with. So I was like, oh yeah, can you give me like a reason, or can you give me one solid substantiated fact? And they can never do it. So I was like, okay, well, you're making it really, really hard to take you seriously right now. So, yes, I try to keep it. I try to be like open-minded about things. I try to hear out everything and every potential and all that, and never could hear it. Never could hear it. So, but it's all right. All that stuff is old, dead, and gone, or so they want to tell us. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, be sure to join the make sure to join the Discord. I threw the link in the chat earlier, and I don't. If anybody else is interested, I don't mind throwing it in there again, or somebody else can throw it in there if they're a part of it. I could also add it to the description down below. But hope you guys have a good night. If anything newsworthy or whatever else. Okay, hey, all right, I'll wait. I'm waiting. Just noticed. Wait, okay, what's going on? Mr. AC with the comically slow replies. Is your avatar Manic's avatar with a can of cheese and a hat over his face? It is not. It is Goku. From like the original, like the OG meme. Even though Manic and I, since we're both younger guys, you know, we both have, you know, similar jokes and memes and all that stuff. Obviously mine goes a little further with the whole lean thing. So, but no, we both just both of our avatars just have the same like jacket. So, yeah. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny seeing that whenever I made my avatar and then him and I started streaming together. It was funny to see that we both had that. So I was like, well, it's just a sign of our age, I guess. So, I only know Yamcha from Dragon Ball. So, but yes. Praise Father Yakub. It's all right. I sometimes think that ignorance is bliss. So, people say that knowledge is power, but I think that knowledge is a lot of other things as well. So, there's that dumb song by that one group called Tame Impala, and the less I know, the better. And I definitely hear that sometimes whenever seeing things and all that, because this is like, yeah, this is just painfully brutal. I wish I didn't know this. So, all right, ladies and gents, you guys have a good night. AC, if you have any further questions, be sure to hit me up on the Discord. So, yeah, you guys have a good night. See you guys next time. Too much exactly. Yeah, just sometimes you just can't fully know everything. So that's why I try to be particular with what we talk about around here. Yeah. Good morning, good night, good evening. You guys sleep well. So stay rested for next week's show. All right, you guys have a good night. Bye-bye.